It was already approaching 10 at night. The typhoon had already engulfed Rokujima. Even the rose garden that had looked so beautiful during the day was now being beaten down upon by the fierce winds and resisting with all its might, undulating and trying to keep the flowers from blowing away. Heading for the guest house through that rose garden, led by Shannon, were Battler, who was holding up an umbrella, Jessica, and Maria, who was sleeping on George's shoulder.
ゲストハウスくらい俺たちだけでも行けるってのに。いいんだぜ、シャノンちゃん。戻って休んでてくれよ。
いいえ、お送りするのも仕事ですので。
親族会議中はうちのお母さんとか源氏さんもピリピリしてるからな。下手に私たちが気を利かせるとシャノンがサボってると勘違いされちゃう。
そうだね。素直にお世話になった方がむしろ迷惑をかけないだろうね。ありがとう、シャノン。
いいえ、確かにお嬢様のおっしゃられます通り、今日のお屋敷はピリピリしています。だから私も皆さんとご一緒して外の空気が吸えるのでちょっと肩が楽です。
親族会議か。
Beckoning.
わざわざ俺たち子供を追い出すくらいだから相当タチの悪い話をするんだろうぜ。
だろうね。僕たちはきっと何の力にもなれない。
Hold on. It's almost 10 o'clock. They eat dinner really late. Did they just come out of dinner? Oh my god, they eat dinner really late. I'm sorry, I just wanted to see something for a second. So, it's almost 10 p.m. Well, I'm not judging here, but still. That's a really late dinner, man!
せめて邪魔をしないようにするのが一番の協力だと思うよ。
You know, I never really looked at the times things happened in Umineko, so maybe that's a detail that I probably should have checked up on. I probably should have checked up on the times throughout the games of, you know, when this is happening and when that is happening. Because I'm missing some important details, I bet.
どうせまた金って話だろうぜ。普段散々金持ちだと吹聴してるくせにいざとなったらもったいぶりやがる。パーッと気前よくみんなで山分けすりゃいいのによ。
そりゃあ豪快な話だぜ。俺にも分け前がもらえりゃいいのによ。もし俺にももらえたらそん時はシャノンちゃんにも分けてやるからな。
どうもありがとうございます。お気持ちだけで嬉しいです。
シャノンは欲がないね。年頃の女の子なら買いたいものがいっぱいあるだろうに。
そうですね。でも私欲しいものの中にお金で買えるものがありませんので。
ひゅー、無欲だな。俺なんか欲しいもん全部並べたら金がいくらあっても足りねえぜ。
お金で買えるものにはだぜ。シャノンの言う金で買えない欲しいものって何かな？
The song that's playing right now is Praise.
ジョージ兄さんは心当たりある？
You're not even trying to be secretive about it.
さあ、なんだろうね。シャノンじゃないとわからないね。
私にもわかりません。
George and Shannon looked down, with their faces red. Battler had also heard details, so he knew what Jessica was teasing them about.
ジョージの兄貴は俺にとっても尊敬できるお人だ。シャノンちゃんは本当にいい人と巡り会えたと思うぜ。
だな。私もジョージ兄さんなら安心してシャノンを任せられるぜ。
からかうのはよしてくれよ。僕たちにとっては真面目な問題なんだ。それよりジェシカちゃんの方だってどうなんだい？カノン君と少しは仲良くなれたのかい？
He's fighting fire with fire now!
お前、カノン君とそういう仲なのかよ。
汚いぜジョージ兄さん。そういう話の切り返し方は汚いぜ。
Meanwhile, the adults are conversing. I know we're transitioning to the adults right now from how the song just suddenly, faded out. Oh, now we're getting into the family conference, and this time Kinzo's coming down. Oh, wait. Okay, so how is Genji gonna do this? As they had an animated discussion with ups and downs, the four kids headed for the guest house. The annual family conference was extremely important to the Ushiyamiya family, and this year in particular seemed like it was going to be especially so. Apparently, the family head, Kinzo, was personally going to be making a very serious announcement. And everyone other than the adults had been strictly ordered to leave the mansion. Battler hadn't attended the family conference in 6 years, so he hadn't really noticed. But according to Jessica, there seemed to be a very tense atmosphere tonight. Completely different from a normal year. Common sense made it clear that Kinzo, whose remaining life was short, was going to make some big announcement about the succession of the head and the distribution of his fortune.
しかし驚いたな。まさか本当にじいさまが登場するとは。
なるほど。これが魔女の反撃というわけね。
Golden Steer.
金蔵というジョーカーはもう少し伏せていたかったところだが、そろそろ切るのが頃合いであろう。切り札は切るためにある。
Wait, are you controlling him? Hold on, what? The way you're wording it makes it seem like he's a piece of yours. Now, I don't know too much about pieces and all that, but would Kinzo be practically a sort of piece for Beatrice then? If I think about it? I don't know how any of this works, so I'm just spouting shit right now, but from what I understand of piece, there are players that enter game boards for witches. Kind of like how AG is Burncastle's piece to, join in on the discussions between Battler and Beatrice. Would Kinzo technically be Beatrice's piece for this game, if I'm not going by the Genji theory? Like, let's just say that somehow a magical Kinzo comes into the game. Would that put him as a piece of Beatrice? Because he wasn't in the previous 3 games, and from what she's saying right here, it kind of sounds like Kinzo's more of a game piece than, a person in the story. Though, of course, this could also mean that every single person in Rokunjima is, a piece. Wait, is that why everything keeps on, repeating? Everyone's a piece? Hold on. What am I getting to? Hold on. Am I actually making witch theories? I'm making magic theories! Oh man. You know, I couldn't think of anything for magic theories, but I'm liking where this is going. So, I'm gonna let Beiichuji keep on talking, but if we go by a more magical theory of, Genji's not dressed up as Kinzo, I have to go by the magical theory then. And with this magical theory, it still doesn't prove whether or not Kinzo's dead or alive. I'm just saying that he might be a piece for this fourth game. So my peak still stands still if I use magic as an excuse for why Kinzo's alive. Honestly, that's my second option, and I might fall on that second option depending on what happens in this chapter. Like, if Genji doesn't make an appearance, I'm going to magic. If he doesn't make an appearance, though, no magic. I'm still going with my Genji revenge theory. But if he does appear, I'll have to go with magic. But I'm gonna shut up now and get back to the game.
くそ。じい様は最初から死んでて、その代わりに謎の18人目が紛れ込んでるっていう俺の推理は、ここに来ていきなりバッサリってわけか。
いつかはそなたが金蔵を疑いに来ることは読めておったわ。さあさあ、これでそなたの推理は再びゼロに戻ったぞ。
Though, of course, if I fall back on my magical peace theory, there's no way I can explain what's going on here. There's no way I can explain what's going on in this fourth game if I'm using that excuse.
金蔵は最初から死んでいて、その代わりにわらわが18人目として紛れ込んでいたという推理はこれでパーだ。
くそ。だがくじけねえぞ。一つの推理が外れただけだ。嵐のように、暴風のように襲いかかってやる。
そうでなくてはな、そうでなくてはな。まだまだ第一の晩祭始まっていないぞ。屈服にはあまりに早すぎる。
そうね。そして赤き真実で否定されたわけでもない。今この瞬間の時点でまだバトラの説は破られたわけではない。勝ったつもりになるのも早すぎるわよ。
そうだな。確かにあっさり鵜呑みにするにはまだ早いな。
I forgot about the red. But wait, if he shows up, would the red even matter? Would the red even matter if he shows up? Ah! Magical perception is hard to, think about how it could have been done in reality, though I've been trying to do that for the past 60 videos. But as of right now, I'm just going to go with the path of it's magic until I find another explanation.
じい様がいよいよ登場するということにはなってるが、やっぱり体調が悪くなったうんぬん言って現れない可能性だってある。じい様は本当は死んでいるという事実をクラウスおじさんがギリギリまで苦し紛れで引き延ばしているだけかもしれない。
なるほどなるほど、そういう考え方もあるか。好きにするがよい。すぐに決着する。すぐにな。
Here we are. All of the relatives and Nanjo could be seen in the dining hall. Oh, they let Nanjo stay! Nanjo sat alone, quietly watching the wind and rain outside. Klaus was sitting in the seat of his own rank, with Natsuki standing motionlessly at his side. All the other siblings and their partners were gathered at the opposite end of the long table, whispering to each other.
そりゃ本当か。
ええ、マリアは傘をくれた人物をお父様だというのよ。
What? Wait, what? It's not Meiichi this time? It's Kinzo who gave her the fucking umbrella? What? What the fuck is this game board? What the fuck is this? What? It's too early for this, man. There's going to be much more revelations in this chapter, I bet. At the same time, I'm already losing my mind. What? Kinzo gave Maria the umbrella. Get ready for a show, everyone, because my mind's gonna explode.
なんちゅうことや。ということはつまりわしらの作戦は根底から崩れたっちゅうわけか。
作戦も何も、お父様が健在で自ら発表があると言った以上、もう兄さんとのくだらない駆け引きは一切不要だわ。
だな。クソ親父め。もったいぶらずにとっとと現れてくれりゃよかったんだ。おかげで俺たちは兄貴と無駄に揉めただけだ。
それを試したかったのかもね。血のつながってない私が言うのもなんだけど、あなたたちのお父様、かなり頭はいいわよ。
Oh?
日中のやりとりは多分使用人の誰かに聞かれてお父様に報告されてたのよ。なんてこと。お父様の遺産が目当てで騒いでることはもうバレバレってことじゃない。ああ、なんてことよ。
Ava held her head, uncharacteristically dejected. If, as Kyrie had said, this had been Kinzo's design from the beginning. A huge setup spread over more than a year in a bid to find the siblings' true natures. Then they had fallen for it completely.
お父さんの耳に入ったとまだ決まったわけやない。
いいえ、入ってるに決まってるわ。兄さん以外の全員がお父様は死んでいると言い切りお父様の健在を信じなかった。ああ、もう終わりだわ。お父様は宣言するのよ。兄さんこそが跡継ぎで私たちには片翼を身にまとう資格もないと宣告するのよ。ああ、私は。
姉さん、しっかり。ローザさん、マリアちゃんは本当にお父様に傘をもらったのかしら。
え、どういう意味？
マリアちゃんはお父様に会ったかもしれない。でも私たちは会ってないわ。マリアちゃんがそうだと主張しているだけよ。
そんな、マリアが嘘をついているというの？
落ち着けよローズ。マリアちゃんが嘘をつくとは言ってねえ。だがマリアちゃんは素直な子だろ。例えばだが源氏さんあたりがこの傘はおじい様からマリア様に渡すように言われましたみたいなことを言ったら、マリアちゃんは親父に会ったわけでなくてもおじい様に傘をもらったって言うかもしれねえぜ。
Whoa! A reasonable understanding of children! It is from Runa!
そうね。その手が考えられるわ。
だがな、マリアちゃんはこう言ったんやろ。おじい様がやってきて傘を渡してくれたと。
ええ、そう言ったわ。おじい様から直接受け取ったとはっきり言ったわ。
直接か。お手上げだな。
Well, that throws everything out the window.
下手な考え、休むに似たりとはよく言ったものだわ。ちょっと考えてみたら、傘がどうこうなんてどうでもいい問題だわ。
どうしてよ。マリアちゃんが兄さんに買収されて、あたかもお父様が健在であるかのように嘘を頼まれたかもしれないでしょ。傘が確かにお父様から渡されたなんて証拠どこにもありはしない。
マリアちゃんが誰から傘をもらっていようとも、あるいは傘なんかそもそももらっていなかったとしても、お父様はもうじき現れる。現れたお父様の前に傘の問題なんて全くどうでもいいこと。つまり傘の問題が取り沙汰されるのはそうでない場合ということよ。
そうでない場合ってのは何のことだ。
そうか。桐江さんが言いたいのはこういうことやろ。お父さんもうすぐでやってくることになっとるが、また難癖をつけて結局現れん可能性がまだ残ってるっちゅうことやろ。
そうか。そうよね。私たちの追求に兄さんが苦し紛れの時間稼ぎでお父様が現れると出任せを言ったのかもしれない。やっぱりお父様はすでに亡くなっていて、兄さんは今なおまだ健在であると嘘をつき続けている。
つまりお父様が現れれば全ての策は通用しない。考える必要もない。私たちは訴状の魚、運を天に任せてお父様との直接交渉に臨むしかないわ。それこそ土下座とげんこつを覚悟してお金を無心するしかない。でも逆にお父様が現れなければ私たちの当初の作戦は何も揺るがない。
なるほど。つまりどっちに転ぼうとも今さらあたふたする必要は何もないってことね。
そういうこと。お父様が現れれば本来の親族会議が行われるだけの話。現れなければ私たちは引き続きクラウス兄さんを追求すればいいだけの話なのよ。
Oh, I'm at the edge of my seat.
お父さんの機嫌が急に悪くなってみたいなクラウスさんの言い逃れを決して許さんようにせんとな。
どうやら私たちが本当に検討すべきは、兄さんがどんな策を弄してこの場をごまかそうとしてくるかよ。往生際の悪さは私が一番よく知っているわ。
お父様がお元気なら私たちは土下座してお金を無心し、クラウス兄さんの茶番だったなら私たちは醜い兄弟喧嘩を再開し、今年も素敵な親族会議になりそうね。
It's the best family conference! What are you talking about, Rosa? This is the best family conference of any year in the past century of the Uchiha family conferences. This is the best conference ever.
だな。下手な考え、休むに似たりってわけか。もうじき22時だな。兄貴に催促してみるか。
Rudolph and the rest looked at Klaus. Firmly seated, he looked like he was awaiting Kinzo's arrival with an air of composure. They couldn't tell whether that really was composure, or whether he was scheming about how to tie together his lie.
あなた、
落ち着きなさい。もう今さらジタバタしても始まらん。源氏さんに任せよう。
Let's leave it to Genji-san?
もうじき10時ですね。
That was the time that had been set for tonight's family conference to open. And in addition, it was also the time that the Ushiyamiya family head needed to appear. Right then, they heard the sound of footsteps approaching from the hall. There were multiple sets. Natsuhi jerked her head up at the start. But there came the sound of a knock, and her expression filled with disappointment. Because Kinzo probably wouldn't have knocked.
失礼いたします。戸締まりの見回りが終わりました。
False alarm. It was Goda and Kumasawa. Unlike the physically fit Goda, it was rare for Kumasawa, with her old body, to still be tasked with work this late. Of course, Klaus also seemed to know that.
ご苦労だった。こんな時間まで申し訳ないね、熊沢さん。
Because usually Genji would be working this late.
いいえ、こう見えてもまだまだ夜更かしは得意でございますので。
熊沢についてだけは立ち会いを外させても良いのでは。さすがに体に応えるでしょう。
使用人も全員揃えろとの命令だ。逆らえん。
Tonight's family conference was clearly different from a normal one. On a normal year, no one was able to attend the family conference except relatives. It would have been inconceivable for any servants to be present. But this year was different. They had been told to have all of the servants in attendance for the family conference. Of course, they would not be allowed to speak. They were there as observers. Just what in the world was going to happen that needed 5 servants to observe? Needed how many servants? How many servants? Oh. Okay, well. Well now, Oops. Even Klaus didn't know.
徹夜はこう見えても強いんですよ。旦那様もサバをもりもり食べれば夜ももっとたくましくなれますよ。
なるほど。まだまだお元気でおられる。100歳になっても元気でお勤めに違いない。
奥様、勝手ながら軽食の準備をさせていただきました。いつでも配膳できますので、ご指示を頂戴できればと思います。
ありがとう。やはりあなたは気が利きますね。他の皆さんにコーヒーのおかわりを勧めてください。
かしこまりました。
After bowing slightly, Goda took the pot towards relatives gathered at the other end of the table. As he did, more footsteps approached from the hallway. A single set. They were light. Even before the knock, they could imagine who it was. Cannon. Light footsteps?
失礼いたします。
Oh! Okay, that makes sense as well.
お子様方をゲストハウスへお送りいたしました。
ご苦労でした。今夜は特別な晩です。緊張感を欠かさないように。
はい、かしこまりました、奥様。
Genji, accompanied by Cannon, had gone to meet Kinzo. There was still no sign of their return. Cannon perfecting the makeup. the hands of the clock were creeping past 10. Once sure of that, Ava spoke the class.
兄さん、もう時間だけれども、親族会議まだ始まらないのかしら？
主賓の到着が遅れている。しばらく待ちたま
え。いつまで？悪いけど時間を切ってもらうわよ。お父様がなかなか来ないなんてのを延々と続けて夜明けまで待たされたらたまらないわ。
親父殿のお越しになる時間を私が約束などできるものか。何を焦っているのだね。まずはコーヒーでも飲んで落ち着かんかね。
兄貴、俺たちは親族会議のために集まってるんだ。茶番じゃない。あと30分は待つ。だがそれでダメなら書斎に押しかけさせてもらうぜ。
押しかけるとは物騒な。当主様への敬いにあまりにも欠ける行為です。
そうよね。ごめんなさい。あと30分はおとなしくしてるわ。30分後にも同じ笑いが浮かべられるか楽しみだわ。
I have the same expectation for you, Ava.
親父殿が死んでいると本気で信じているのかね。
それを今さら議論する気はないわ。お父様がここにやってくればいいだけの話。兄さんを言いまかす必要なんて何もないもの。
後宮家当主は正当なる人間へ正当なる手続きをもって継承される。お前が何の策を浪したところで何も抗えんよ。もちろん私もな。
何をわけのわかんないことを。今まで散々自分こそが次期当主だと威張ってきたくせに。
お前の言葉をそのまま返そう。それを今さら議論する気はないね。親父殿がやってきて自らの口でそれを宣言すればいいだけの話だ。お前を言いまかす必要などどこにもない。だったかな。
Gloss casually turned Ava's words back on her. Of course, that poured fuel on Ava's anger. But it did ignite. Because in that instant, the sound of a very loud knock rang out. Okay, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Because I feel like something big is about to happen, and I do not trust my bladder. That is TMI, but I already said it. I already said it. I already screwed up. Both Genji and Kanon were unusually very reserved when they knocked. They wouldn't hit the door with such a violent strength. It was like a judge's gavel slamming down in a call to order. So everyone fell quiet. Well, there throws my Genji theory out. The door opened slightly, and Genji showed himself. Then, he spoke with a solemn tone, different from his usual one. It wasn't the tone he used when carrying out his duties. It was the tone he used when speaking for Kinzo himself. So, just by hearing Genji speak like that, the siblings were struck with a sudden tension.
皆様、ご着席を。
At those words, the dining hall fell into complete silence, and everyone rushed back to their designated seats. They were like students who had been making a lot of noise just before homeroom, hurriedly returning to their seats when the teacher came. It might have felt humorous, but there was no way anyone would joke about it. Everyone sat in order, and Shannon, Goda, and Kumasawa stood up straight in a row by the wall.
栄光ある後宮家の当主にして金色に輝ける六軒島の領主後宮金蔵卿のおなりであります。
Of the double doors into the dining hall, Genji opened the right door from the inside, and Cannon opened the left door from the outside. And that killed my Genji theory. Scorpion guts. And welcomed by the deepest bows from the two servants, with his cape fluttering majestically, Kinzo appeared. Kinzo's gait had a dignified weight to it, and it was very hard to believe that he had been diagnosed as having not much time left to live. Genji pulled back Kinzo's seat and motioned for him to sit. But Kinzo remained standing, signaling with his chin for Genji to move back. You know, I thought he would just begin with yelling, not laughing.
ようこそ諸君、六軒島へ。何を怯えた顔をしておるのか、エヴァ。
そんな怯えてるなんて。お父様が大変お元気そうなのでほっとしただけで。
おおエヴァ、お前は相変わらず面白いな。クラウスとの賭けに負けて悔しいと素直に言えばよいのに言えないよな。
Ava realized that their conversation during the day had indeed been an open book to Kinzo, and she turned red as she hung her head.
さてと、我が息子たち娘たち、そしてその伴侶の諸君、お前たちの就寝している我が財産と当主の継承について今宵は重要な発表をしようと思う。まず最初に、私はひどく失望していることを伝えようと思う。それは今日まで誰にもあの碑文の謎を解くことができなかったということだ。
Even though Kinzo said he was disappointed, a condescending smile, as though there was no way the likes of them could have solved it, rose to his face as he cast an eye over each and every one of them.
私はあれを解けた者に全てを譲り渡すつもりでいた。しかし今日までに誰も解くことができず、我が全ては誰にも継承されることなくここに至っているわけだ。情けない。お前たちの中にそれを受け継ぐ資格を持つ人間が現れなかったことが、私は心底残念であり、そして情けなくざまあないと思っている。
The siblings hung their heads in silence. Of course, they would have solved it if they could. They had blown their chance, and none of them could deny that. But even so, it was just so hard a riddle.
よって私は非分の謎にて我が継承者を選ぶことをここに中止することを宣言する。つまりはタイムオーバー、ゲームオーバーというわけだ。残念だったな、お前たち。お前たちには等しく公平にチャンスがあったはずなのに、それが今ここについえた。
It truly sounded like Kinzo was making a victory proclamation.
ならば当主は長男のクラウスに継承されるのか？
No!
答えはノーである。わかっているよな、クラウス。お前には確かに次期当主という肩書きを与えた。だがお前はそれに溺れただけだ。次期当主というのはどういう意味かわかるか？
お父さんの後を継ぐという意味です。
違う！次期当主というのは当主が約束されたものではない。いいかクラウス、二度と教えないからよく聞けよ。次期当主というのはな、自分以外にも当主を狙うやつがいたら、その花を徹底的にへし折って二度と逆らえないようにしてやるやつのことを言うのだ。これは何も当主だけのことではない。金についても言える。金持ちというのは金を持っているやつのことではない。自分より金を持っているやつ全てを叩き潰し、そして誰よりも金をかき集められるやつのことを言うのだ。才能も同じ。天才とは才能に秀でたやつのことではない。自分より秀でたやつを全て叩き潰し、自分を天才と全ての人間に呼ばせることを力とカリスマで強要できるやつを指している。お前はその全てにおいて勘違いしているのだよ。だから次期当主の器ではないのだよ。
I can't tell why I'm smiling right now, but this is just a smile of just being uncomfortable. I don't know why, but I'm very uncomfortable with Kinzo right now.
勉強になります。
Perhaps that was precisely Kinzo's philosophy. Though it could be taken for a rant, it was as a result of faithfully carrying out that philosophy of his that Kinzo had raised the Uchiha family to such prosperous heights. It may be hard to imagine after his immersion in the occult in recent years, but it was that brutal aggressiveness that was Uchiha Kinzo's charisma and aura.
このような不甲斐ないクラウスに後ろ宮家の全てを継承する資格などない。ならばエヴァ、ルドルフ、ローザの3人にはあるのか？
And now let's proceed with the roast of the rest of the children.
これもノーである。非分の謎を解けず、さりとてクラウスを引きずり下ろす策も浪せず、 お前たちにできたのは3人寄せ集めで共同戦線を張ってクラウスから金をせびろうとしたことだけ。しかもその策も浅はかそのもの。クラウス一人を追い詰めることさえできやしない。情けないことこの上なし。次期当主の座をどんなことをしてでも奪い取ろうという貪欲さが足りぬ。欲しいもののためにはいかなる犠牲も払い、どこまでも貪欲となるべし、強欲となるべし。幸運の女神は貪欲なる者にこそ微笑む。その野生の精神がないお前たち3人にクラウス同様に継承の資格などありはしない。
I thought he was going to individually go after each one. Huh. Ava and the rest had no words to respond with, and they couldn't figure out what it was that Kinzo was about to say. Was Kinzo actually planning to proclaim that no one would succeed ahead? If so, that would work to Ava, Rosa, and Rudolph's advantage. Because the only thing the siblings would ultimately need to do is coordinate everything between them after Kinzo's death, and split the inheritance evenly. On the contrary, if a specific person's name was raised and proclaimed to be the one to succeed the head, that would surely be more troublesome. But would Kinzo really say something that would benefit any of the 4 siblings after lambasting them so much?
まさか誰にも引き継がないからと財産を全て慈善団体にでも寄付するとか言い出すつもりじゃないでしょうね。
お父様ならやりかねないという恐怖はあるわ。
頭に血が上ってるだけさ。しばらくは聞き流すしかね
え。ではお父さん、次期当主についてはどういうお考えをお持ちですか？
You know, I shouldn't be laughing, but seeing Klaus act like this is kind of funny.
お前たちに完全に失望した以上、私は誰に引き継ぐ気も失った。よって後宮家はこれで終わる。私の代で終わりだ。
そういうわけには。
後宮家などあの震災の時にとっくに滅んでおるわ。今の後宮家など私がつかの間だけ見ている黄金の幻想に過ぎぬのだ。私が夢より覚めれば終わる程度のもの。この世など全ては夢、幻。生など死という目覚めの前には白チュームと同じよ。
Why do I feel like I've heard this in a song before? No, I'm actually not joking here. Life is but a daydream before the awakening called death. That's from a song, I think. Or maybe I'm just being stupid. But some edgy song out there that I've got a whiff of through my ears definitely had that line in it. I don't listen to too much music, but I know for a fact that there's a song out there with the line, "Life is but a daydream before the awakening called death." I know that for a fact. At least some band has done it. Some band has done it.
ああ、そうだ。元よりそうだったのだ。私が死ぬ時に全てを失うのがベアトリーチェとの契約、そして呪い。さあ行くか、ベアトリーチェ。お前を捕らえるのはこの私だ。今宵それは現実となるだろう。
For a while, Kinzo was overcome with cackling, and his eyes bulged. Whenever he talked about Beatrice, he was always eloquent and filled with obsession.
お前たちのような愚かなる息子たちなどまさに白昼夢。初めからいなかったも同然よ。消えろ、覚めろ。真実の私のまどろみと共に消え去ってしまえ。私を継承するに値する何者も築き上げてこなかった出来損ないどもめ。
金蔵さん、よろしいかな。
Oh jeez, Nanjo is really being bold here.
何か
Only a witch would go against Kinzo right now.
我が友よ。
Nanjo nervously raised his hand, asking to speak. Kinzo permitted it.
金蔵さんの気持ちもわかる。子供たちを愛するがゆえに大きな期待を寄せ、それゆえに期待を裏切られたような気持ちになる親心。同じく子供や孫を持つ身としてよーくわかります。しかし金蔵さんは非凡だ、天才だ。そんな金蔵さんに追いついて当然というんではちょいとひどすぎるんじゃないかね。それでもそんな金蔵さんに追いつこうとクラウスさんもエヴァさんもルドルフさんもローザさんも、そしてその伴侶の皆さんもよく頑張っています。
ほほう、よく頑張ってどの程度の金を稼ぎ上げたというのか。事業にことごとく失敗して借金を抱え、いまだに私のすねをかじろうという間抜けどものどこがよく頑張っていると言えるのか。この世のすべては金として結晶しているのだ。それがつかめぬということはこの世をつかんでおらぬということ。魂がこの世をしっかりつかんでおらぬということは生きるに値せぬということだ。消えろ、我が生と現実から消え去ってしまえ。
それは暴論です。その理論から言ったら私だって生きていてはいけないことになる。
Take a guess where the conversation is going to end up for you, Nanjo. With that statement, you should probably already know what Kinzo is about to say to you.
そんな私でも金蔵さんと過ごしたチェスの時間は共に価値あるものだったと信じていますぞ。世の中お金で買えないものもたくさんあることを金蔵さん自身が誰よりもご存知のはずだ。
Oh, Kinzo got hit with that one. As the siblings motionlessly hung their heads, they cheered Nanjo on inside their hearts. Not one of the siblings could offer their opinion to Kinzo in a rage, but Nanjo alone was allowed to, as Kinzo's close friend. Even though Kinzo had raged so fiercely, after being admonished by Nanjo, he nodded several times as though in agreement. His surprisingly docile side might seem cute, but there was no one who could laugh.
確かに息子さんたちは金蔵さんほどの財は築き上げられなかったかもしれない。まあそれでも私から見れば羨ましいほどのお金持ちではありますがな。しかしお金だけでなくお金では買えないたくさんのものを築き上げました。それについて言えば金蔵さんにも負けないくらいです。
ほう、金で買えぬ何を積み上げたというのか。
幸せです。家族です。
I knew he was going to say that.
彼らは
素晴らしい伴侶を見つけ、子を産み、それぞれの幸せな家庭を築かれています。
No comment.
あなたの一族を繁栄させ、そして孫を連れ帰ってきてくれました。孫はいいですぞ。私たち年寄りは、私たちには見ることもかなわぬ新しき時代を生きるだろう若き孫に無限の未来を想像するのです。それは老境の唯一の楽しみではありませんか。
I bet for my grandparents it's more like a horror movie with things with how it's going for me. I'm joking. I'm joking. It's a joke. It's a joke. Though they probably would have preferred if I went for, you know, architecture like I thought I was going to in second grade.
思い出しなさい、金蔵さん。彼らが初めて孫を連れて帰ってくれた時の喜びを。息子さんたちは、そして孫たちは金蔵さんの偉業を後の世まで伝え模範としてくれることでしょう。それはお金がいくらあろうとも孤独なる身にはなせぬことです。
The siblings all nodded in agreement. Certainly, there had been a time when Kinzo had looked at his newly born grandchildren with happiness in his eyes. Back when he still had some sanity in his heart. However, was there any human warmth still left inside Kinzo's heart?
それはつまり、私が成した巨万の富の代わりに、金を儲ける代わりに孫を設けたと、そういうわけか。
He's gonna blow a fuse!
いえいえ、そういう意味では。
私が稼ぎ上げた数百億という財産の代わりに息子たちは一人ずつ孫を設けたというわけか。
You're technically wrong. You gained 2 from one of them.
それは素晴らしい。つまりは100億を投じて命を一つ生み出したと、そういうわけだ。これは面白い。錬金術的に考えて実に面白い例えではないか。
Wait, what? He actually agrees with it? This is not the direction I thought he was gonna go with this. I thought he was gonna get mad. But wait, is he okay with... Or is he leading into a rant? Is this leading into a rant, or he's actually kind of agreeing?
ほう、なんと価値ある孫たちなのか。素晴らしい、素晴らしい。
I can't tell if he's being sarcastic.
そうなのか、クラウス。お前の娘には100億の価値があるというのか。
Why are you hesitating? Klaus couldn't answer instantly. It wasn't that he didn't have confidence in his daughter. It was because he didn't have a clue what Kinzo was trying to test with this question. But when Nessie was then pressed for an answer, she responded, breaking Klaus's silence with an answer of her own interpretation.
はい、ジェシカは100億のお金を積まれても手放せない娘です。その意味においてお金では数えられない価値があると信じています。
ほう、100億の価値があると言い切るか。ほうほう、エヴァはどうか。お前のところのジョージはどうだ。
Given the way Natsuki had chosen to answer, there was naturally no doubt as to what Ava's answer would be. Even though Ava should have known better than to respond to this kind of provocative question, she did so as well.
お父様。ジョージには100億の、いいえ、それ以上の価値があります。 それはお金で買えないという抽象的な意味ではありません。ジョージは必ずや自らの価値に等しいだけの財産を築き上げるでしょう。お父様の偉業を継ぐにふさわしい孫となるはずです。
Ava sent a glance at Hideyoshi and Natsui that said, like a fiddle. After hearing Ava's answer, Natsui was about to add more praise for her daughter, but stopped at a glare from Klaus.
なるほど。ならばルドルフはどうか。お前のところのバトラはどうだというのか。
うちのバトラはジョージ君に比べられちゃ言われることは何もねえ。誘拐されて身代金を100億よこせと脅されたらのしをつけて進呈したい程度のやつではある。さらにバカで無鉄砲だ。偉そうな夢やできるわけもねえことを語り出す。その一点においてはバカ100億人分に匹敵する大バカだろうさ。
Oh my god! Like, that's probably one of the more loving responses to this question, even though it sounds mean. Like, you can definitely tell that Rudolph cares about Valor enough that he feels confident making fun of him in this sort of way, but not in a mean manner.
だがバカもできねえ凡人どもが100億人束になってもできねえことをきっとあいつはやり出すだろうよ。ま、俺はどうせこけるだろうとは思ってる。世の中は甘くねえ。しかし100億の凡人を眺めるよりは奴の人生は干渉して愉快なものになるだろうことだけは疑ってねえぜ。
Wow! You know, that's probably one of the most interesting responses to give to Kinzo, especially for this question. And he has all the confidence in the world saying this. Ava clicked her tongue at the clever style of speech that would probably match Kinzo's taste. Apparently, Rudolph had been after this himself, and he grinned back at her.
マリアはどうか。
マリアは私の可愛いたった一人の娘です。お金の価値で測れるものではありません。それだけです。
なるほど。夢と未来、奇跡と可能性は我が魔力の源泉だ。希望をなくしていかなる魔法も力を持ちはしない。すでに凡百であることを証明してしまったお前たちには何を期待することもかなわないが。なるほど。孫たちには未来の可能性があり、魔法的奇跡を期待する価値はあり得るというわけか。
Interesting.
それをもって100億以上の価値と言ってみせるなら、わからぬでもない。
When Kinzo got in a rage, he wouldn't let anyone talk back. But even so, while yelling by himself, he would sometimes convince himself of something all of his own accord, and change his own opinion. That's what this felt like to the siblings. Apparently, even though Kinzo had become absolutely fed up with his shoddy children, and had cast them away as being unfit for the inheritance of his title or his fortune, he wasn't so sure about his grandchildren. At this rate, he might soon say that the inheritance would go to his grandchildren instead of the siblings. As the siblings sat in fear of what their fickle and short-tempered father would suddenly think of next, they carefully watched his every move. Oh?
考えを少し改めよ。 お前たちに我が全てを継承する気は全くない。しかし孫たちの誰かにその資格があるかどうかを問うのはなかなかに面白いことだ。いつまでも子供だと思っておったが、ひょっとすると私を驚かせるような原石のきらめきを見せてくれるかもしれん。そしてそれを期待し試すのは、なるほど、我が余生最後の道楽としても捨てがたい。さて、これはどうしたものか。
ジョージならお父様の後を継ぐにふさわしいと私は自信を持って推薦できます。
Well, you're jumping for an opportunity. Ava claimed that right away. Natsuki looked like she was about to follow along, but Klaus gave her a look telling her to restrain herself. So she swallowed her words. Well, I know for certain that Kinzo would be less confident of George. Ava, you kind of fucked George over a little bit by saying that. A little bit. He might have some hope for George, but he might be looking a little bit more away from the boy now since you said that. Come on, Natsuki! I mean, Ava. Shit. Sorry.
勇ましいではないか。では、こうしよう。後宮家の家督と財産のすべてを受け継ぐ資格があるかどうか、孫たちに個別に問おうではないか。
The song that's playing right now is Golden Sneer.
お父様。
しかし、それはお前たちの誰かに間接的に家督を引き継ぐという意味ではない。お前たちにはすでに失望しているのだ。お前たちに与えるものは今や何もない。何もな。私が問うのは孫たちだ。そして引き継ぐかもしれないのも孫たちだ。それを決して勘違いするな。
お父さんの判断に従います。
同じくだ。親父の決定に従うぜ。なあ、姉貴。
もちろんよ。お父様が賢明な判断をされると信じています。
私もお父様の判断に従います。
孫たちをどのように試すかは考えよう。そしてそれはお前たちには今さら関係のない話だ。当主継承とお前たちはもはや何の関係もないのだから。だからこの場ではお前たちに関係のあるもう一つの話をしようではないか。
もう一つの話とは。
それこそが今宵の、そして後宮家最後の親族会議の本当の理由だ。
He's gonna kill him! He's gonna kill them! I know for a fact that first Twilight's gonna come right here! There's no doubt in my head that Kinzo is going to not do this right here, right now. He is so ready. He is so ready to begin the Twilights. And he's gonna do it right in front of everyone. That's why he brought the servants in. He brought the servants in to maybe heighten the likelihood of seeing whether or not every single one of his children will get killed or not. The servants are just a number for his plot of First Twilight. Or it might increase his chances as well. He might still be subject to the Twilights. So he brought the servants in to heighten his chances. Maybe, I don't know. He seems to be the one controlling everything, so it might be weird if he got killed by his own, his own murders, but it still might be possible. But I'm gonna let the game play out. I'm gonna let this all play out and see where it goes.
お前たちに求めるのは議論でも意見でもない。我が儀式に協力を求めるためだ。
Here we go!
儀式？
静かに。お父様がお話をなさっている最中よ。
Rudolph and the rest automatically knitted their brows at the occult-like word ritual. Was he talking about starting a strange ritual involving Beatrice's resurrection again? Was he demanding that they help? What in the world was he planning to start? In the past, he had carried out many eccentricities that he called by the same name, such as lighting a strange incense and filling the whole mansion with the stench. To the siblings, ritual was nothing more than one of the aged Kinzo's obnoxious hobbies.
お父さん、儀式とは一体。
私たちに協力できることなら何でもご協力します。ねえローザ。
ええ。でも一体何を。
私が碑文に刻んだ通りの儀式だ。ベアトリーチェをよみがえらせ、黄金鏡の扉を開く儀式である。肉体の檻を逃れ、私の指の隙間を嘲笑うようにすり抜けるあの魔女を今度こそ捕らえ。
I'm at the edge of my seat. Actually, oh god, I'm actually at the edge of my seat. I don't know who's gonna get killed this first Twilight, but it's heavily likely that Klaus, Rudolph, and Kyrie are likely to get killed again because that seems to be the trend in these past few chapters. But I don't know. I actually don't know. I'm actually really getting nervous.
屈服させる私の最大の秘術だ。
And Ava and Rosa might be fucked, though I think Rosa might survive just a little bit longer because of, well, Maria's point of view. Maria might take us another Twilight upon herself rather than Kinzo killing Rosa. Maria might conduct one of her own Twilights, though this is just assumption. I'm just assuming right now. I legitimately don't know where this is going, and I'm actually getting really excited to see.
そのために13人もの命を生贄に捧げねばならぬがな。13人もの生贄は容易には集まらん。
Wait a second. Hold on. Is he planning on doing them all at once? Because he's in the room, Klaus is in the room, Natsu's in the room, Ava's in the room, Hideyoshi's in the room, Rudolph is in the room, Kyrie's in the room, Nanjo's in the room, Rosa's in the room, Genji's in the room, Shannon's in the room, Cannon's in the room, Goda's in the room, and Kumasawa. So there's 14 people in this room. He's killing everyone but himself! Is he actually going to kill everyone at once? What? No, there's no way he would do that, would he? Would he actually kill everyone all at the same time? Oh my god!
しかし、今宵は親族会議。
There's 13 people in the room other than him! Oh my god!
これだけの大人数が六軒島に集まった。この儀式が行えるのは今日を置いて他にないのだ。
Taken literally, it could only sound as though he was telling them to die as sacrifices for his disturbing ritual. Ridiculous. Was this some kind of metaphor? But they didn't even have a clue what he was trying to tell them through his analogy. The siblings whispered together, wondering what Kinzo was saying.
親父は何を言ってるんだ。いつもの悪い病気か。
だろうな。しばらく黙って聞いてやる。
ごめんなさい、お父様。どういう意味でおっしゃられているのか分かりかねます。
何が分かりかねるというのか。私は至極単純に話している。ベアトリーチェをよみがえらせる儀式のためにこの島にいる人間から13人を選び生贄に捧げようと言っている。何の価値もないお前たちも我が儀式の生贄としてなら大いに役に立てるというわけだ。
Organ short, number 600 million, C minor.
これは冗談でも何でもない。我が人生の最後に欲する最後の賭け、最後の儀式である。この島には今13人を超える人間がいる。つまりこの膨大な数の生贄を容易に満たせるだけの頭数が存在するというわけだ。お前たちは我が儀式の生贄となれ。
金蔵さん、あんたまさかあの話は本気だったのかね。
Nanjo's caught on.
冗談ではなく。
Unusually for Nanjo, his face changed color, and he stood up and shouted. It seemed this wasn't the first time Nanjo had heard all this dark talk about 13 sacrifices.
すまんな我が友よ。あれは冗談でも何でもない。我が生涯を賭して最後に挑む儀式でありゲームなのだよ。そう、これはゲームだ。お前たちにとって我が財産を得て島を出ることがゴールならば、それを達する方法は2つしかない。13人の生贄から逃れ見事生き残り、今更ながら碑文の謎を解いて儀式を止めてみせるか、私を殺しこの儀式を止めてみせるか。この2つしかない。
By now, it was no longer whispering among those gathered there, but uneasy commotion. Even the siblings had noticed that Kinzo was beginning to act abnormally.
お父さん、少しお疲れなのでは。元気さん、お父さんは少し酒を。
いいえ、親方様はご明晰であらせられます。
悪いけど親父、何を言い出すのかさっぱりだぜ。親父が愛する魔女を蘇らせるためにどんな怪しげな儀式を始めてもそりゃ自由だぜ。親父の趣味なんだからな。だがそいつに巻き込まれて生贄にされるのはまっぴらごめんだぜ。
ルドルフ、お父様の話に口を挟む気？
No one.
何言ってんだ姉貴。こんな物騒な話にはいそうですかでうなずけるわけねえだろ。
Was the ritual Kinzo had mentioned literally the frightening thing it seemed to be? Or was it some kind of test to choose his successor? It seemed that Rudolph had taken it at its disturbing face value, but Ava apparently still believed that it was something like a trial or examination to find the proper next head. But Kinzo's response to this was clear.
さて、 私からの話は以上だ。異議も意見も何にも必要はない。4人の不出来なる息子たちがいたという私の夢が覚めるだけの話なのだ。お前たちにとってこれより目の前で起こることはまさに夢、幻、あるいはこの世のものと思えぬ理解に及ばぬ世界だろう。しかしそれこそが我が現実。お前たちという出来の悪き浅い夢は今こそようやく覚めるのだ。さあ、もうゲームは始まっているぞ。これだけいては誰から命を奪えばいいものやら。さらばだ、出来の悪き息子たちよ。そして生涯でただ一度、そして最後に私の儀式のために役に立て。いでよ、ペンドラゴンの記念兵たちよ。
As Kinzo raised his arms high like an opera singer and yelled those words as though towards a packed audience. Oh? The air shattered like glass, and the figures of 3 people who hadn't been invited to this island appeared regardless. Dance of the Moon Rabbits! Ah! Oh!
シエスタ410ここに。
Oh?
シエスタ00ここにであります。
Double O? Oh, oops, wrong button. I want to see who Double O is. Alright, Double O. Shyster Double O. The weapon of the Sisters Cavalry, which serves the Pendragon. Double O has the position of their calm and composed leader. However, that is merely the role that was sought of her. Her true self is far more of a weakling. Double O excels in reconnaissance and as a vanguard, and has enormous power to bring the enemy under control during encounters. However, her excessive power level has been criticized as inhuman, and it is not rare for her to be lynched and abused upon surrendering on the battlefield. Her one eye tells of this without words. And did anything change for 410? No. And 45? No. Alright. Man, I miss these rabbits. I don't know why, but I kind of miss them. 3 girls with bizarre uniforms suddenly appeared behind Kinzo. Where from? When? Who? Who are they? The humans were thrown off balance, and their minds went blank. Except for Nanjo. And because they wasted time with such thoughts, they lost their chance to survive.
お前たちには6人の射殺を許可する。標的は自由だ。攻撃開始。
自由射撃了解であります。良き標的に感謝。かっこ自由射撃開始。
西一番乗りだね。シャッハ
As 410 scratched the air with her finger, a golden bow appeared in empty space, and a string was pulled back. Oh, okay, who's first? Who's first? The golden arrow that had been ready there was fired off without any hesitation, flew around the room, leaving haphazard gold trails everywhere. And from among those sitting at the table of the family conference, it chose Natsuki and pulverized the left half of her face. Oh shit! Golden slaughter time? Knew it! I fucking knew it! I called it! Flesh and deep red blood splattered all around. leaving a massive amount of deep red spatter marks on the relatives' faces and the pure white tablecloth. There was silence. Despite the massive number of deep red blotches left on the tablecloth, even still, no one could understand why Natsui's head was half smashed, nor why she was hanging her head as though she had dozed off in her chair. And they watched these events in silence. Those sitting on the far right-hand side from Natsui were silent for a relatively long time, but those sitting on her left were not. Because the people sitting on that side had been shown how her head had been smashed open like a watermelon or a pomegranate, and could even see inside her. Oh shit, Claw saw it!
まずは一人、夏日か。最後まで運のない女だ。次。
00射撃。
In the same way, 00 scratched the empty air to ready her bow and fired. Just like the golden arrow 410 had released, it flew around and around at high speeds, drawing a convoluted trail, after which, as he looked at Natsui in shock, it smashed half of Rudolph's head in the same way, killing him instantly. Okay, I called that one. This time, everyone did not stop thinking altogether. They realized that a terrible murder had been carried out right in front of them, according to Kinzo's words. And they understood that Kinzo would probably kill again! Shrill screams burst out. Even now, they still didn't know what to do. So, they could only keep screaming and flapping their wide open mouths like goldfish. As Eva asked Kinzo that in total shock, Hideyoshi, who had come to his senses, had risen from his chair faster than anyone else, pulled out her arm from behind. Oh no, he got shot! He's getting shot! However, Merciless Fate's choice for the third sacrifice was Hideyoshi. Just like the two before him, half of Hideyoshi's head was neatly smashed. And the right side of his head, which happened to be facing that direction at the time, was blown away, chunks of its contents thrown everywhere like a watermelon or a pomegranate. So, still holding Eva, Hideyoshi tumbled backwards and fell down. Still held by her beloved husband, Eva fell over backwards with him. Eva screamed. And who could blame her? The face she had been looking for had been half lost. And the crushed skull, the splotchy exposed brain, and the crushed jaw were all bare.
45着弾命中。
見事だ。続けて撃て。残りは3人であるぞ。お父さん。これは何の真似です。
Claw stood up forcefully and was about to rush Kinzo when 00 blocked him. Despite her slender-looking body, she held back Claw's body with just the palm of her right hand. He still tried to resist and attack Kinzo. So 00 lifted Claw up by the collar and twisted into his Adam's apple with her thumb. It seemed to be very painful, and Claw was overcome with agony. Well, there's number 4. You can't! The island's locked off! You cannot get the police! No one's gonna save you now, Claus! I shouldn't be this excited, actually. Nanjo's sharp words finally broke the spell that had been holding them down in their chairs. As Goda and Kumasawa made a mad scramble to escape from the dining hall. 410 teleported to that spot, blocking the way. Oh shit. At the sound of Kirie's sharp voice, Goda, in a state of complete confusion, ducked. Then, a burst of air rushed above his head. Yeah! Oh yes, Kirie! Kirie had taken a big swing with a chair to mow 410 down. But 410, still wearing a contemptuous expression, easily caught that wildly swung chair with one hand. No, not Kirie! From the sleeve of the arm that she had used to catch the chair, something like a shining gold snake appeared, coiled itself around the chair, and with a huge crunch, bursted into splinters. It was a fearsome power, far stronger than any vice. When Kirie realized that being in front of her, which looked like a girl, was actually a being that surpassed human knowledge, and which a human could not even begin to oppose, her head was filled with a great alarm bell that welled up from inside her. Even with a scene like this before their eyes, Genji, Shannon, and Cannon, the servants permitted to wear the one-winged eagle, continued to stand calmly at attention by the wall, making them look very bizarre and eerie. For an instant, Kirie thought that the source of their calmness was that they were with the enemy and had been guaranteed that they wouldn't be killed. Wait, what? But no sooner had she thought that than the sight of Genji's face was blown away before her eyes. Well, that definitely ruins my theory about Genji's revenge! That's 4. That's your best friend! Well, Kinzo, I wouldn't put it past Kinzo to kill his best friend, actually. Yeah. You know, I'm not surprised, actually. I shouldn't be surprised. Wait. That means one of the siblings will survive. One of the siblings is going to survive. Who's going to be? One of the siblings is going to live. The half of Genji's expression that remained was as indifferent as ever. He tilted, fell in a heap, and sent a blood-red splatter across the floor.
Genji-sama.
僕たちなんて所詮は魔女の駒なんだ。
あ。
所詮。
Oh. Interesting. From the meek and frustrated. No, resigned expressions on Shannon and Cannon's faces. You couldn't feel any naive expectation that they would be saved. That's right. Kinzo was, in the truest sense, carrying out these murders at random. In the truest sense, he was killing like it was a game to see who would be saved and who would be killed. 410 looked at Kirie for a second. In that second, Kirie prepared for her own death. But once she had readied her golden bow in midair, 410 looked at someone else over Kirie's shoulder. So, as shameless as it was, Kirie sensed that she had been saved. Again, an ugly sound of something crackling and exploding rang throughout the room. No. Who was it this time? It's Kirie. I shouldn't be happy that someone else died, but hey, Kyrie might have a chance to pass first Twilight. When Kyrie turned in the direction of the sound, she saw Ava collapse onto her husband's chest, gushing blood like a fountain. Of course, her face was half smashed, just like her husband's. 410 had mercilessly targeted Ava as she clung to her husband's body, sobbing. Rosa's protestations weren't reaching Kinzo as he continued to laugh loudly in the blood-splattered dining hall. Nor was she able to lessen Klaus's pain as Double O lifted him up by the collar. So Rosa had no choice but to use force. She raised one of the chairs beside over her head and gave a warning. Don't ask, just fucking hit him! Fucking hit him! The only way to stop this is to kill him! Kill your dad, Rosa!
できぬな。それを望むならば、お前の自らの力で阻止するがよい。自らの運命は自らの手で切り開け。常に誰かの背に隠れ、怯えてきたお前に宿る。人生最後の国旗を見せてみよう。
She's gonna get bow and arrowed, I bet. The chair that Rosa had lifted up swung down at the father, who had reigned as a symbol of terror for her entire life. It was the greatest and final act of bravery and self-mastery in Rosa's life. Kinzo might have been right. If she had grasped that courage much, much sooner, her life might have been more free, unrestrained by anyone else. And she got yeeted. Then, a loud bursting sound. The sound of Rosa's chair fiercely hitting Kinzo. It was not. Still lifting up the chair, she nearly lost half of her head and fell with a thud. Klaus survived! He made it past first Twilight! Okay, I was not expecting Klaus to do it! Wait, Klaus survived?! I thought Kinzo would go after him especially! Or he might be saving Klaus for last. But hey, at the same time, Klaus made it to the very end, surprisingly. While still holding Klaus up with one hand, Double O had stuck her other hand out towards Rosa. The golden snake released from that arm had constricted Rosa in a helix and chewed a hole through her head.
防衛射撃資金弾の無礼をお詫びするであります。
構わん。これで6人であるか。
はい、ゴールドスミス卿。これで6人であります。
After declaring this with indifference, Double O let go of Klaus, who she had been lifting up this whole time.
第一の番の生贄はエヴァにルドルフにローザ、夏日、秀吉、そして源氏であるか。
It was a massacre that happened in an instant. The interior of the dining hall was dirtied with blood splatter, and the 6 unlucky victims lay with their heads brutally exposed. Fittingly, it was Kinzo's abnormal laugh alone that echoed in that abnormal space.
いよいよに幕を開けたぞ。 ベアトリーチェをよみがえらせる儀式の始まりだ。運よく第一の番を逃れた者たちに我が友人たちを紹介しようではないか。いでよ、我が友よ、ロノウェイ。
Hey, my man! Happiness of Marinette. When Kinzo called Ronove's name, the demon butler appeared out of thin air, bowing deeply and respectfully. Ronove! Wait. Oh, this hasn't updated yet. Alright. Has anything changed? No, nothing's changed in this character sheet. He was just added. Alright.
皆様方、はじめまして。そして、ご無沙汰の皆様におかれましてはごきげんよう。これはまた派手に散らかされましたようで。
よいわ。我が白チュームのごとき日々を覚ますにはこの程度の刺激が必要だ。紹介しよう。我が友人であり頼れる執事であり72柱の大悪魔であるロノウェだ。
以後お見知りおき。
Just who was he aiming that introduction at? Klaus and Kyrie, who were still down on their backsides, and Nanjo, and Goda, and Kumasawa, could only look up in shock at this middle-aged gentleman who they had never met before. Only Shannon and Ken seemed to recognize him, and they bowed deeply.
源氏には挨拶が叶いませんでしたが、せめて苦痛なく役目を終えられたなら良いんですが。
頭部直撃弾にて即死でした。苦痛を味わう暇もありません。
そうですか。結構です。
He seems to take a lot of care into Genji. Huh.
続けて友を紹介しよう。
Virgilia?
いでよ、我が友ワルギリア。
Yes, I knew it. Wait a second. Kumasawa's in the room! Wait, Kumasawa's in the room! How's Virgilia there when Kumasawa's there? What? How is Virgilia there when Kumasawa's there? Or maybe... No! Someone appeared out of thin air! What? Maybe Kumasawa disappeared and became Virgilia again? No, what? What the fuck? Once again, the figure of someone unknown to the relatives appeared out of thin air. She appeared in an elegant dress while greeting them gracefully.
召喚を感謝します、親方様。許されるならば、このような血生臭き場に呼び出されたくはありませんでしたが。
こやつも紹介しよう。我が友であり頼れる相談役でもあるワルギリアだ。
Virgilia. Has her character sheet changed a little bit? Whoa! Hey! They're here! And the goat. The goat. Did anything change about Virgilia? No. No. Okay.
偉大なる有限の魔女であるお前の力を我が儀式に借りたい。その力を貸せ。
お断りしようにも、あなたの強力な召喚霊族下にある身ではそれも叶いません。御意に、親方様。
それにしても恐ろしいお方だ。シエスタの姉妹兵を3人も召喚し、私に加えさらにワルギリア様までも召喚せしめるとは。召喚という能力においてのみとはいえ、 お嬢様をもはるかに上回るとは恐ろしい。後宮の地に戦慄を覚えます。
ベアトリーチェ復活の儀式を執り行うために、私は召喚師としての全てを尽くすだろう。まだ足りぬな。この度の儀式の完璧なる遂行のためにさらに召喚しよう。
Seven Sisters? Yeah, it's gotta be the Seven Sisters then.
ペンドラゴンの記念碑に炉の上にワルギリア。
But summoning Vergilia and Ronove takes a lot more magical power than probably the stakes. And he can't summon Beatrice, so is he gonna summon Sakutaro?
まだ呼べるぞ。我が魔力ならまだまだ呼べる。我が召喚に応えよ。72柱が一人、ガープよ。
Gaap? Gaap?
ガープをあれまでも権限できるというのですか？
さらにこの島の侵食が進んだということでしょう。私たちが権限できているほどです。今さらどんな大悪魔が呼び出せたとしても驚くには値しますまい。
もはや六軒島は完全に異世界に飲み込まれているということですか？彼は屈服しないと良いのですが。
Mentioning Valor?
前回たっぷり入れ知恵をなされたでしょう。この程度では今さら屈服しますまい。おそらくですがね。さて、私たちはこの舞台を楽しもうではありませんか。今回の主人公はどうやら親方様のようだ。お嬢様とは一味違った脚本に期待しましょう。
Blue! As Kinzo strongly concentrated his magical power, a pale blue light gathered in the air, twisted. That explains the blue. And the magic circle began to be drawn with a deep red light. Happy Maria? Instrumental. Happy Maria? Okay, I was distracted by the song. Okay, I first looked at the person who appeared, then the song name. But wait, this is instrumental, and also, I wouldn't get to talking about this woman, but also, this is instrumental. Huh. I'm really intrigued to hear what the lyrics of this song sounds like. What? Yeah, I'm intrigued to hear the lyrics of this song. Hold on. Happy Maria plays as soon as this person comes in. No, I should not make that theory. No, just because the song has Maria's name in it, does not mean that she's connected to Gaap. Or it could be. Am I going to be bold enough to say this? Am I going to be bold enough to say this? No, I'm not going to be bold enough to say. This is Adult Maria. No. Is this Adult Maria? No, this is not Adult Maria. Because Maria rejects adults. Like the whole concept of aging. I think Maria rejects that sort of thing. Right? Or am I wrong? Is this actually Adult Maria? Or what she wants to look like as an adult? I'm terrible! I need to stop this! Then it shattered with a sound like glass, and a new demon could be seen there.
よくぞ我が呼びかけに応えた。72柱の大悪魔が一つ、ガープよ。
Alright. Gaap's character sheet should deny some things that I thought of. Alright. Gaap. one of the 72 great demons. She is also Beatrice's friend. Grants the power of teleportation as the mage requested. She uses this wonderful power only for pranks. Her favorite trick is hiding keys and bags on busy mornings. However, this power of hers is an ultimate weapon that risks delivering the lethal blow to a locked room mystery. Her queen bee-like stripes would probably penetrate all famous detectives and make them surrender. Huh. So this is Gaap. I can still somewhat formulate some theories bringing a connection between Gaap and Maria with this. But all of it is circumstantial evidence that cannot prove anything at all, so I should probably just shut the hell up. I should just shut the hell up. But I'm going to say it anyway. Beatrice's friends. Who else is a friend of Beatrice? Maria. Who likes pranks? Maybe Maria. She's a child. She might like pranks. Her favorite trick is hiding keys and bags on busy mornings. She might do that to Rosa. She might do that to Rosa as a little... Well, that's actually... Well, she does that to Rosa. That could also... Oh, that's actually kind of sad. She doesn't want Rosa to leave home. And she wants to spend more time with her. Maybe! Maybe, or she does it to mess with her mother as a slight, deviance towards her. And claims that it's magic. After her rage, after what happened to Sakataro, she might had begun childish pranks on Rosa as a form of resistance, but disguising it as a cue of magic doing it and still being innocent, while at the same time, she is slowly showing her grudge towards her mother after what she did to Sakataro. I mean, this is Maria's chapter. And Maria doesn't look like Gaap at all in her witch form. But, who says that Maria can't grow older to become Gaap? No! I should stop this! What's the safer route of this? I need to stop this theory crafting right now. I'm gonna say it in peak. Maria and Gaap are not connected. There! I can no longer think of this. I am limiting myself because I am refusing my own thoughts. You're Nanjo! That's what I'm gonna say! You're Nanjo! Just to escape my other theory of you being Maria. Why are they playing a song with Maria's name in it? When this character appears, what other thing am I supposed to think of?
すごいところに呼び出されたものね。この血まみれの部屋を掃除するために私は呼び出されたのかしら。ゴールドスミス。
The literally devilish woman, wrapped in a gaudy, ominous costume, looked at the horrifying scene, which should have been made to cover her eyes, and her mouth twisted into a grin.
そのためだけにあなたを呼び出すとしたら、それはまるでカシミヤのマフラーで雑巾掛けをするようなものですよ。
What's a cashmere scarf? Oh, this is a cashmere scarf. Interesting. It looks hella comfortable. I'm gonna be honest here. That scarf looks hella comfortable. Wow. Yeah, that scarf looks hella comfortable. Holy shit. I shouldn't be shopping right now.
お久しぶりですね、ガープ。あなたのような大悪魔がとうとうこの島に現れてしまうなんて。いよいよこの島も幻想に沈むのでしょうか。
部屋の惨状よりもこの豪華キャストの方が驚くべきね。シエスタ姉妹が3人もいて、大悪魔ロの上に大魔女ワルギリアに私まで。これは何事？ここはパンデモニウム？地獄の演奏会でも始めるつもりかしら。なるほど。そこで指揮棒が震えるのはあなたぐらいしか思いつかないわ、ゴールドスミス。
そなたにはベアトリーチをよみがえらせる我が儀式遂行のための進行役として協力してもらう。我が召喚契約に依存はないな。
依存も何も。天下の大魔女
ベアトリーチを刺激した伝説の大召喚師ゴールドスミス教の召喚霊族に私が抗えるわけもない。協力はするわよ。もちろん見合ったお題もいただくけどね。で、最初の仕事は
第一の番を免れた間抜けどもを捕らえよ。幸いにもここにはまだ7人いるではないか。南條にシャノンにカノン、ゴーダに熊沢、キリエにクラウス。ほう、この7人をまるまる生贄に捧げればちょうど13人だ。
You seem excited.
第二の番以降を実行するタイミングが訪れるまで生贄の檻に放り込んでおくがよかろうが。
カシミヤの雑巾がけね。了解したわ。
As Gaap shrugged her shoulders, she looked at Klaas, who was still down on his butt. She glared. Then, she snapped her fingers, and Klaas was swallowed up by the floor, as though a round pitfall had opened up there.
いっちゃ上がり。
There was no hole in the floor, but it had certainly looked as though Klaas had been swallowed up by a hole and disappeared. Searching for her next prey, Gaap's gaze crossed Kyrie's. She snapped her fingers. Kyrie jumped back as though repelled. Her instinct was correct, because in the place where she had been until a second ago, a round, shed black hole had appeared, the same kind that had swallowed up Klaas. However, before she could catch her bounce, another pitfall appeared and swallowed her up. Even Kyrie had no way of eluding Gaap's capture. Snap with her fingers once again. The shocked Nanjo disappeared into the floor. Please tell me that'll happen for the rest of them. Another snap of the fingers. And 4110 let out a short yelp and jumped back. This time, a slightly larger pitfall had opened, taking in both Shannon and Cannon, who had been standing in a line by the door. But because 4110 had jumped away from the door, the way was no longer blocked. Instinctively aware that they would be next, Goda dashed out through that door. Damn, Goda! Go, man! Of course, Kumasawa was too hot on his heels and ran off at lightning speed. As Gaap snapped her fingers over and over, round, jet black pitfalls opened one after another behind them, chasing them. Come on, run, run, run! However, they did nothing but drive the desperately fleeing pair forward and couldn't swallow them up. Hell yeah! Goda and Kumasawa escaped in a matter of seconds.
鈍ったわ。二人逃がした。ご安心を。逃走目標を捕捉中であります。
データリンクよし。にひ。狙撃しますか？
No, wait! Is it time for second Twilight already? But, hold on. The tear the two are close apart. That wouldn't apply to Goda and Kumasawa, would it?
いいえ、それは許可できませんよ。貴重な生贄です。親方様の許可を待つように。
対ゴールドスミス教、
第二の晩の訪れにはまだ早いと我が魔力の源泉がささやいておるわ。今はならぬ。好きにさせてやれ。どうせこの島からは逃げられぬわ。
親方様の魔力の源泉とはすなわちノイズとリスクと運試しつまりは気まぐれというわけですか？
そうとも言うかもしれぬ。ガープ、ご苦労であった。儀式はこのまま着実に進めよう。さて、それはそれとして次は我が孫たちだ。次期当主たる資格があるかどうかを試す。はてさて、どうやってその資質を確かめたものか。
Solve the riddle?
その資格があると判断されたならベアとの復活を断念されるおつもりで？
無論だ。にもかかわらず試す。女の身にはわからぬであろうな、この矛盾、我が狂気など。
I don't think anyone can.
相変わらず男ってどこか変ね。リスクを遊ぶという概念わかりかねるわ。
おやおや、あなたはそういうのが大好きかと思っておりましたが。
もちろんよ。男に危険なリスクと一緒に恋をささやかれたらキュンキュンしちゃうわ。ただしイケメンに限る。
Well, Kinzo's out of the running.
お静かに。死後は慎むように。
実にかしましいやつらだ。だが少なくとも退屈はせぬ。これだから召喚は愉快なのだ。そなたらには我が儀式のノイズとリスクの天秤の片側を担ってもらうぞ。その働きに期待している。
Six brutally murdered corpses lay in the dining hall, which was tarnished by a red and gruesome decoration. By now, it was impossible to imagine that 13 people had been sitting here in an orderly manner just moments ago. Kinzo lined up the demons of renown and their subordinates, loudly declared the beginning of an overwhelming night of mass murder, and swore to himself that he would certainly revive Beatrice and open the doors of the Golden Land. Damn. Woo!
待たせたな。
I was not expecting, you guys to be talking for the rest of this chapter. I thought we were gonna get to you next chapter.
これにて第一の番。いよいよ開幕。
Golden Slaughter twice in the same episode? Hell yeah!
金蔵め、相変わらず派手を好む男よ。付きまとわれればしつこいことこの上なき男も、舞台の上ではこれほどまでに映えるというのか。
くそ、相変わらず黒い殺し方ばかりしやがって。頭部半壊だ。てめえら魔女ども悪魔どもの悪趣味には相変わらずうんざりさせられるぜ。
I mean, it's not as bad as the candy one in Game 2. Game 2, that was probably one of the worst ones. Or pulverizing their faces in Game 1. Not saying that, getting half your head blasted off is, tame at all. No. But it's tamer than the previous two.
頭部半壊。なるほど。これまでのゲームで一番理想的な殺し方がこれだと気づいたわけね。
理想的？ このひでえ殺し方がどう理想的だってんだ。
How the crap? No.
実に理想的じゃない。
You can come in here?
一番最初のゲームを思い出してみるといい。
She's a demon. She's a demon. No wonder why she can come in there.
お前はさっき登場しやがった新しい悪魔とかいうやつか。くそ、また魔女の侵食が進んでろくでもないやつが増えたというわけなのか。
The more the witch's corrosion progresses, the more Rokujima tilts towards the other world. That's why strange people keep appearing one by one. This island is closed off by the typhoon, and not only can no humans leave it, but new humans can't appear either. But the more the corrosion progresses, the more witches and demons can appear without limit, increasing one by one. By now, perhaps there are more demons than humans among the characters appearing in this insane tale. Their numbers might be precisely the figure representing this mad corrosion. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. And not only are their numbers being affected by the corrosion, their fashion sense apparently is as well. If the corrosion advances any further, and even more weird people appear, just what in the world will they be wearing? It's too scary for me to imagine. Seriously, give me a break. Please, no more of these weird-ass people.
そうはいかんぞ。まだまだ増やすぞ。人間どもの語るクローズドサークルなる間抜けなルールをわらわがいくらでも怪我してやろうぞ。よく来たな、我が優雅なるゲームへ。ガープよ。
お久しぶりね、リーチェ。
リーチェ、
お元気だった？というか随分元気そうじゃない。あなた若返った？私が知ってる頃より2、300歳は若々しいわ。ああ、なるほど。
The demon grandfather. The demon grandfather had summoned and introduced as Gaap. Took a glance at me, and then grinned as though she'd figured something out on her own. Honestly, I felt that smile was repulsive.
レアとの友人らしいな。ってことは輪をかけてろくでもねえやつってわけだ。しかしクローズドサークルがなんとかって言ってやがったが、どういう意味だ？
今の六軒島のような外界から断絶された場所で起こる連続殺人ミステリーはクローズドサークルとも呼ばれるわ。外界からの断絶、つまりは閉じられた輪の世界というわけ。故に登場人物と容疑者は限定されるのが一般的にもかかわらず、新しい容疑者候補が次々に輪の外から追加されていくのはミステリーの作法に反する。つまり人間とミステリーに対する魔女の冒涜ってつもりなんでしょうよ。
Good. Oh, jeez. Yeah, mystery novels kind of do need to, get new scenarios put in place. Come on. Mystery stories, they need to have new scenarios, and Umineko's doing it quite well. I'm gonna say this now, I've never read a mystery story like this one.
あなたがグレーテル？なるほど。賢い子みたいね。そういう子は好きよ。舌が甘くてとろけるから。気色悪い。冗談は服だけにしておいて。
Oh!
デビリッシュプリティの最新作、ジャック・ザ・リッパー・クリスマス・ブラッド。人間界の田舎娘には理解できないセンスでごめんね。
Interesting.
通気性がいいのだけは理解できたわ。ついでに頭にも切れ目を入れたら脳みその通気性も良くなるかもね。
ガープは魔界の流行にいつも敏感でな。好 かし今年の流行りも実に大胆だ。わらわも一度ぜひ取り寄せてみるとしよう。
ナイス。
リーチェにはアリグレがおすすめね。アリス&ザ・グレイブヤード。今度一緒に666にお洋服見に行きましょうよ。
Why is 666 in green? Why is 666 in green? Grimoire. Ali Gray and 666. These are references to modern Japanese fashion subcultures. Alice in the Graveyard references Alice in the Pirates, gothic-pirate punk Lolita fashion brand. 666 references the famous department and fashion store 109 in Shibuya, Japan's popular youth culture district. Finally, Devilish Pretty is a reference to Angelic Pretty, a very famous sweet Lolita fashion brand. Honestly, I've heard of Lolita fashion, but I don't know anything about it. Like, I heard the terms. It's just that I just don't know what it is. So interesting.
たまには魔界にもいらっしゃいな。このゲームを終えたらぜひそうしようぜ。それにしてもリーチの対戦相手のお二人はなかなか可愛いわ。この子なら頭部半壊死体にどういう意味があるか察しがつきそうね。わかる？お嬢ちゃん。
さっきこいつは一番最初のゲームを思い出せと言ったな。どういう意味だ？
言葉通りの意味を一番最初のゲームの第一の番を思い出して。大人たちの死体が魔法陣の描かれた園芸倉庫の中で発見された時のことよ。覚えてる
？Episode 1. The first Twilight. 6 people, Klaus, Rudolph, Kyrie, Rosa, Shannon, and Goda, had died. And each of them had had their head pulverized.
あの時あそこには2種類の死体があったわ。それは顔面を粉砕された死体と側面を粉砕された死体の2種類。
Oh, this is where the hits come in.
そうだ。
Wait, okay, head smash. Okay, Shannon had her head half smashed. While... Did everyone else have their heads fully smashed?
顔面粉砕はルドルフ、キリエ、ローズ、ゴーダの4人。側頭部粉砕はクラウス、シャノンの2人だ。
What connection do Klaus and Shannon have that Rudolph, Kyrie, and Rosa and Goda don't have? Zinzin Damida. Hold on. This is a hint. This is so a hint. Okay, I'm gonna keep this in mind. This is a hint, I bet.
わらわもあの時点では気まぐれに生み出した2種類の死体であったが、より残忍な死体である前者の方がわらわにとってむしろ不利であることに気づいたのだ。
ベアトにとって不利？そうか、そういうことか。
That's right. The smashed faces might look atrocious, but they made it hard to confirm the identity of the person. For example, at that time, Uncle Klaus and Shannon Chan had had their heads only half smashed. That itself was, of course, atrocious, but because half of their faces remained, it was easy to confirm their identity. But Dad and the other 3 were different. Because his face had been completely destroyed, even I, his son, could only guess that it had to have been Dad because of his clothes and the like. In short, it remained unclear until the end whether that really was Dad's corpse.
第1のゲームの時にも、もしも推理バトルが行われてたなら、俺は多分、親父たちの死体を本人確認不能のため、偽装死体の可能性もあると主張していたかもしれない。 何しろあのゲームの時にはベアとは一切赤での発言もしていない。
お上手よ。それで正解。偽装師はミステリーの基本の一つ。たとえ医者に検証させたとしても、犯人とグルを疑われればその結果は信用できない。つまり確実な死を保証できない死体は常に魔女サイドを不利にするということ。
あらゆる死体について偽装死を疑い、その後の事件の犯人に想定することができる。バトラの嫌う手だけど魔女に対する最も初歩的な一手ね。
ああそうだ。だからベアとは赤を使い出した。赤き真実で完璧な検証を行うようになったんだ。
そういうことだ。本来ならばこの第一の番の惨劇に対し、わらわはすぐにでも赤き真実にてこの度の6人の死亡を確定させるところである。しかし知っての通り、今回のわらわの戦法はこれまでとは正反対に赤き真実の兵糧攻めといったところ。そなたが反撃の拠り所にしようとする以上、わらわは容易には赤を使わぬ。必要最低限の赤にてたった一箇所だけほころびさせればいい。つまりわらわは究極的に言えば、そなたのあらゆる密室の推理についてあらゆる暴言を許せども、そのうちの一つをたった一回の赤き真実にて打ち破るだけで良いわけだ。
散々俺をいたぶってきやがったくせに、俺が反撃に使い出したら今度は引っ込めやがったってわけだ。ふざけやがってよ。
とにかく赤を使いたくない。けっちりたい。バトラをいじめてやりたい。
I mean, I don't blame you.
しかし赤を使わずに確実なる死を保証するにはどうすればよいのか。わらわは悩みに悩んだわけだ。そのアイデアをガープがくれた。実に簡単な方法だったのだ。
当たり前なことを言ったらリーチがひらめいただけよ。私は誰にでも容易に身元の判別と完全なる死が理解できる死体を用意すればいいと言っただけ。
つまりはその2つを合体させたわけよ。身元の判別に必要な顔と完全なる死の象徴である魂の器たる頭部の粉砕。この2つを左右ぴったりきれいに合体させたら、あら不思議。この頭部半壊死体がパーフェクトであるという答えが出たわけだ。
お前絶対2色パンとか2色アイスが好きだろ。欲張りな子供市民丸出しだぜ。
いずれにせよ、たとえ頭部が半壊していたとしても、現時点では彼らが死んだとみなすべきではないわ。
分かってる。ベアトがもったいぶって赤での宣言を拒む以上、全ては疑ってかかるべきだな。もちろんシエスタの太もも姉ちゃんたちの魔法殺人だって鵜呑みになんか絶対しねえぜ。
本当に慎重になったこと。最初のゲームの頃だったなら何でもかんでも鵜呑みにしてくれていたのにね。
好敵手はこうでなくては面白くないというものよ。今は赤がないことを幸いに自由な想像を広げ、好きに推理を重ねるがいい。一番最後 一番美味しいところでバッサリと赤き真実見て叩き切ってくれようぞ。
Umineko no Nakukori ni. Oh, man. The sweet world of witches. Dripping noises. When? Interesting. Aha! We begin the next chapter with Rosa in a tripping place. Just this episode in general has just been throwing so many curveballs. Like, I expected this from a question arc. I expected this from the last question arc. Like, this is throwing so many curveballs, and it's not kind at all, man. It's not kind at all. Like, at least with Himasabushi of Higurashi, it was kind of kind in the mystery building. Well, at least from my knowledge, it was kind of more kind. But this is just mean. This is just mean. This is mean. Fuck it. This is mean. This first Twilight is so mean. No, this whole episode's mean. You know what? This episode is mean. Rikishi is bullying readers with this first Twilight and this entire fourth game. Damn you, man. I mean, he definitely perfected the art of trolling around when these games were coming out. God dang it. God dang it. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this experience. I don't even know if I should call this a video. It's more like you just all see me lose my fucking mind for 2 hours. Wait, is this video 2 hours? It's almost 3! 3 hours of me losing my mind over this episode. God dang it. God dang it.
Okay.